To avenge his grandfather's elimination, a weak young man needs to enter a night school and become a fencing master. Today we're going to recap the story of the movie, Justin and the Knights of Valor, from 2013. In the Kingdom of Gabilonia, a young man called Justin has been despondent ever since the knights were banished from the city. Since then, the kingdom has been run by the bailiffs, who create new laws every day in an attempt to resolve conflicts. As a result, the kingdom is in complete chaos, but Justin is forced to ignore everything because of his father Reginald, who is the kingdom's top lawyer and wants his son to follow suit. Despite this, the young man has no interest and dreams of becoming a knight, spending his days reading tales about the deeds of his grandfather, Sir Roland, who was Gabilonia's greatest warrior. With a week to go until the entrance exam, Reginald hands his son his acceptance letter, saying that he doesn't need any tests and that he's guaranteed a place. Even though he's scared, Justin says that he doesn't want to be a lawyer and that he wants to become a knight, but Reginald refuses, saying that knights are banned and that he would be going against the law. After the argument, the young man goes to his grandmother's house, who encourages him to set off on a journey. To give him a goal, the woman takes the young man to her husband's armor, showing him that Roland's sword is lost. After Justin accepts the mission, his grandmother hands him a key and tells him that he must take it to the Tower of Wisdom, where the masters will train him to become a knight. The woman then says that Gabilonia is getting weaker and weaker and that soon the banished knights will return to seek revenge. Far away, a former knight called Sir Heraclio enters an ancient tower and starts practicing fencing, recalling his glory days before the queen handed over power of the city to the lawyers. While he's doing this, one of his henchmen, Soda, shows up and begins to discuss the plan, being put in charge of freeing the prisoners who will form part of Heraclio's army. In Gabilonia, Justin goes to Lady Lara's chambers to talk about his mission, but the girl is more concerned about her debutante party outfit and doesn't pay attention to what he says, even after he promises to return as a knight on her birthday. At night, Soda approaches the prison and manages to knock out one of the guards by throwing his boomerang shield. With that done, the man asks the rest of his team to throw him into the wall with a catapult, managing to infiltrate the place. Once Soda is inside, the others also throw themselves in and start moving towards the cells. To avoid the guard on the way, Soda puts a painting on the window, blocking the guard's view and allowing them to walk to the prisoners without any major problems. In the dungeon, the group frees everyone and starts walking to the exit when the painting falls off, allowing the guard to see them. When he realizes what's happening, the soldier alerts his colleagues who start chasing the intruders, but fail to catch them. At home, Justin stays up all night thinking about his adventure. As soon as dawn breaks, the young man collects his things and leaves a farewell letter for his father, telling him that he is going to train to be a knight. When he wakes up, Reginald goes to his son's room and is furious when he reads the note, tearing up the paper. Already on the road, Justin arrives at the Broken Eagle, a tavern that was famous for being the resting place of the greatest warriors. When he enters the place, he meets a girl called Talia, who works as a waitress. After introducing himself, Justin tries to ask her if she knows a wizard, but ends up being interrupted by the two bouncers who want more drinks. As Talia refuses to serve them, the men take her by the arm and Justin tries to defend her, but he's just a weakling and is thrown out. Wanting revenge, the young man puts on his armor and returns to face the duo, but is once again thrown away. Inside, Talia begins to confront the two thugs while Justin tries to help, but the girl is the only one who manages to land a blow. While being tossed around, Justin ends up losing his boot and is trapped against a shooting board, almost being hit by some darts. Just then, the tavern owner appears and starts fighting with the two, taking them to clean the pigsty as punishment. With things calmer, Talia starts cleaning up the mess and sees Justin's grandfather's bag, recognizing Sir Roland, family crest. Curious, the girl asks if he's on a mission and Justin replies that he needs a wizard, but Talia replies that the only one she knows is Melchiades, a completely bumbling wizard. Still unsure, Justin asks about the Tower of Wisdom and Melchiades replies that he doesn't know it, but he knows who might, Melchiades, his other, even more crazy personality. Totally insane, the man begins to psychograph a map and hands the paper to Justin, starting an argument with his other personality straight away. Now that he has a direction to go, Talia wishes him luck and Justin continues his journey towards the tower. After several days of walking, the young man finally manages to reach the tower, which is isolated in the center of a large lake. While looking for a way through, Justin sees a large bell and decides to ring it, only to be answered by someone at the top of the tower. Suddenly, a tall man appears in a boat and introduces himself as Legantier, taking Justin to the tower as soon as he shows him his grandfather's key. At the top, the young man meets Braulio, a short cleric who tells him that they were about to close the abbey because they hadn't received any students for years. As well as him, Justin also meets Sir Blucher, another knight almost as famous as his grandfather. After the introductions, the young man begins his training with Blucher, who, although old and retired, is extremely skilled and can take Justin down with extreme ease. After spending the day training, Blucher sends the apprentice to take a bath and starts talking to Legantier, who is still unsure whether they should train Justin, for fear that he will suffer the same fate as Roland. In the old knight's tower, Heraclio sees the army that Sota has assembled and says that it's still not enough, asking Sota to get even more men. Upon hearing this, the court jester henchman says he has no more gold and Heraclio says he must find a way to get more. In Broken Eagle, Talia is working when a man called Chlorex appears and starts hitting on her. As the girl doesn't pay any attention to him, the charlatan pretends to be a knight and starts deceiving people in order to be considered a hero. Meanwhile, Justin continues his training, progressing very slowly. Fearful that he won't pass the test, Justin looks at his family crest when Legantier appears to console him, saying that even if he doesn't become a knight, Justin is already a man. Motivated, the young man dedicates himself even more and manages to improve a lot over the days, almost reaching Blucher even blindfolded. Because of this, the last knight decides to take him to the Hall of Heroes, where the statues of the most important warriors in history are located. While looking at the statues, Justin notices that one is missing and Blucher tells him that it used to be a tribute to Sir Heraclio, but it was removed after he eliminated Roland. Wanting to know more about the story, Justin asks what happened and Blucher replies that that's why they're there. He then asks for the key and asks the young man to open the chest in front of his grandfather's statue. In doing so, Justin realizes that the sword isn't inside and asks where it is. At this point, Blucher decides to talk about the history of the knights and tells them that the king ended up dying during a battle. As a result, the queen was unable to rule and enlisted Reginald, helped to take care of the kingdom. Thanks to the lawyer's laws, much has changed and knights have become less and less necessary. Wanting to end the conflict that had taken her husband's life, the queen signed a decree extinguishing the knights once and for all, which made Heraclio furious. Refusing to accept this, the former knight tried to attack Reginald and his queen, but Roland stopped him, fighting his former companion. More skillful, Justin's grandfather managed to disarm him and had the chance to eliminate Heraclio, but hesitated and ended up having his sword stolen by his ex-partner, who used the object to take his life. While everyone mourned the perishment of the former knight, Heraclio fled with the sword that was with him at the time. In the old tower, Heraclio is training with Roland's sword when Sota appears to talk about Lara's party, saying that her father is the richest man in the kingdom and that they can take something from him. While they come up with a plan, a messenger hawk appears at the abbey and leaves a warning about the sighting of Heraclio. As there are no other knights to fight, Blucher offers to stop his old companion and says that Justin will help him, but Legantier doesn't think he's ready. To prove his friend wrong, Blucher sets the final challenge, Justin's fight against a dragon. As these creatures have become extinct, Braulio controls a winged crocodile that takes flight, showing the target on its chest, which Justin must hit in order to win the challenge. Seeing the overweight alligator, the would-be knight underestimates him and almost gets barbecued when Minimus activates the flamethrower. The alligator in the wingsuit manages to knock Justin down with a flying strike, and he throws his spear in an attempt to hit the center of the target. In revenge, Minimus once again activates the flamethrower on Justin, who begins to run, hitting the monk who drops the control on the ground, causing it to break. Because of this, the crocodile starts flying around aimlessly and Justin uses his spear to throw himself on top of it. While trying to maintain control, the young man picks up the tip of his spear from the ground and thrusts it into the middle of the target, disabling the alligator's wings. In freefall, Justin has to spread his wings manually and manages to slow down his fall a little, but he still hits the ground quite hard and falls unconscious. Blucher sees that the young man is no longer breathing and Legantier uses some herbs to help him heal. When he regains consciousness, the three elders arrange a meeting and Legantier fails him in the knighthood test, saying that Roland's lineage has ended. Before Justin leaves, Blucher hands over his sword and Legantier takes the young man back to the mainland. After a while on the road, the young man returns to Broken Eagle where he meets up with Talia again. On the spot, Justin sees that Chlorex is charging for autographs and accuses him of being a charlatan, which ends up causing another fight between him and his bodyguards. This time, the aspiring knight is much more skillful and manages to dodge the brute's blows, taking them on with Talia's help. Furious, one of the brothers grabs a table and tries to attack Justin, but he manages to dodge and knock him out with a kick to the face, sending the man flying out of the tavern. After knocking each other out with a piece of leg, Talia resigns and offers to fight alongside Justin. Saddened, the young man refuses the invitation and tells her that he was supposed to go to Lara's party as a knight, but that he failed the test. Even so, Talia and Melquiades encourage him to go to the party, taking him to the event. Later, Lara arrives at the party accompanied by Sir Clorex, introducing the charlatan knight to everyone and ignoring Justin's existence. As a result, the young man spends the entire party with Talia, getting closer and closer. Suddenly, the party is interrupted by Soda, who suddenly appears to capture Lara. Even after being ignored, Justin decides to defend the girl and ends up being knocked down by Soda and his henchmen. Even though he was outnumbered, the young man got up and attacked the criminals, being held down by one of them while Soda punched him in the face. Witnessing the scene, Reginald picks up a sword and orders the bandits to release his son, as he has no interest in him. Soda complies and demands 10,000 gold coins as a ransom for Lara. Completely oblivious, Clorex is cutting up a chicken leg when he ends up breaking the heads of 3 statues. Seeing this, Lara tells him that her knight has come to rescue her and runs into his arms. When they hear that there is a knight at the party, the bandits decide to flee and leave Lara behind. After the confusion is over, Justin finally wakes up and Lara begins to mock him, saying that the young man really was born to be a lawyer. Tired, Justin asks to be taken home and Reginald complies, while Lara and Clorex go to the balcony to spend some time alone. In the post, the girl says she felt insulted by the reward the bandits asked for, claiming that her family invented money and that her father would pay up to 10 million coins for her. Overwhelmed by the amount of money, Clorex decides to kidnap the girl and steals a horse to take her to Heraclio. The next morning, Justin puts on a lawyer's suit and prepares his bags to go to law school. When the time comes to leave, the young man gets into the carriage with his father and grandmother, but the way is blocked by a group of people angry at Lara's disappearance. As Justin watches the commotion, Talia spots him and goes to talk to him, saying that she didn't see him after the party. The young man then says he's going to law school and Talia tells him about Lara, making him remember that he promised to help her. Since she's right, Justin decides to go after the girl, this time with his father's permission. Together, he and Talia begin their investigation when they see one of Melquiades' personalities saying that Lara is in a dark tower, as well as mentioning a black army. Thinking he's a complete fool, the peasants laugh and leave, but Justin trusts him and decides to follow him, ending up in the old knight's tower. Even alone, the two manage to sneak into the place unnoticed and hear Heraclio talking behind the door. Now that he has Lara, the former knight is preparing for combat while Clorex keeps asking for payment. Tired of listening to him, Heraclio leaves and orders his men to eliminate him, but the soldiers are interrupted by Talia and Justin, who burst in to save the girl. Fighting together, the two manage to knock out the henchman and corner the charlatan knight who is trying to escape with Lara. Outside, the pair of would-be knights begin to fight with Soda's group, all while Clorex hides with his hostage. While fighting Talia, Soda offends one of his henchmen who is outnumbered by Justin. Witnessing this, the young man says that he shouldn't accept this kind of thing and that Soda should respect him. Fighting Talia, the man throws his shield which comes back like a boomerang, knocking the girl down, when Soda is ready to finish her off. That soldier who was fighting Justin knocks him down and Talia finishes the fight by hitting him in the face with a shield blow, causing the medieval Joker to lose his teeth. Just then, Heraclio appears and congratulates Justin on his performance, saying that he knew him when he was still a child. Seeing the young man's determination, the former lord tells him that he is angry with the wrong person and blames the queen for Roland elimination, asking Justin to fight alongside him to restore the age of the knights. As Justin refuses, Heraclio orders his soldiers to catch him and Talia, trapping them both. Seeing everything from the top of the mountain, Melquiades unifies his two personalities and uses his power to summon creatures from the flames, only to be met by a seagull that lets out a huge poop in his face. Just then, Blucher arrives at the ancient tower accompanied by his fire-breathing crocodile, causing all the bandits to flee. Alone, Heraclio goes after Blucher, who, despite being older, manages to hold his own in the fight. While the two knights are fighting, Talia sees Clorex running away with Lara and goes to rescue the girl. In one last attack, Blucher ends up being wounded by Heraclio, who drives his sword into his shoulder, seriously injuring him. On the way out of the tower, Talia corners Clorex, who tries to fight her off, but as he's nothing but a charlatan, he doesn't stand a chance against the girl who knocks him out with a punch. To prevent his master from being defeated, Justin takes on the man who eliminated his grandfather, but he's not as skilled and ends up being cornered. As the young man falls, Heraclio tells him that it's all the fault of the queen and Reginald and promises to take their lives, but Justin is determined to protect them and throws himself at the former lord. Near the waterfall, the young man goes after his rival, who throws dirt in his eyes. Even though it's hard to see, Justin manages to knock Heraclio down, who lets his grandfather's sword fall to the ground. With his enemy down, The young man retrieves his family's sword and hands one to Heraclio so that he can defend himself. While exchanging blows, the two go over a water wheel where Justin almost falls in, having to hold onto Roland's sword to keep from falling in. Despite being cornered, the young man manages to break one of the wooden paddles and knock Heraclio off the waterfall. After the fight, Justin retrieves his grandfather's sword and goes to Blucher, who is in agony. With some medicinal plants, Melquiades manages to cure the ancient warrior who grants Justin the right to become a knight. To this end, the Queen and Reginald revoke the decree banning knights, officially granting Justin the title of Sir. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like the video, like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.